presented by Chevrolet Cruze.
So back to the 10, back to the 20, he's back to the 30, he may have it, he just went 100 yards! Oh, he's got a guy, Swoop, he's wide open, touchdown! How about those apples?
Play action, Martinez going to throw it down in front. The Aggies have gone up with their third field goal of the night. The Aggies have won 5 straight games. Handoff, right side, big hole in the 20. He's to the 30, and off for the races. He's to the 10. Touchdown Aggies. Gilbert out of the gun, throwing the ball. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Von Miller.
And as a result of the A&M turnaround, they'll take on LSU in the AT&T Cotton Bowl. Back when the Aggies were 3-3 and just got hammered by Missouri, what was Mike Sherman's name, Craig?
Well, in the coffee shop, he was fired.
You bet he was. And since then, the Aggies have turned it around. He's not fired anymore. He's extended. He's the toast of College Station. Like Tim DeRuyter has done a great job with that Aggie defense. You saw Von Miller make the big interception against Texas, and now you have an A&M team. New quarterback Ryan Tannehill with a lot of confidence going against LSU.
Oh, they're playing very, very well. And it goes back to the leadership. You know, Jared Johnson was an outstanding quarterback, had shoulder problems. You get somebody in there and the chemistry comes and everybody starts winning, everybody starts making plays. It's just a great feeling.
Hey, Jesse, I know you've watched Ryan Tannehill quite a bit in person and on tape. What's your impression of the impact that he's had on Texas A&M since taking over at starting quarterback?
This has been a completely different football team since Ryan Tannehill took over. I think the biggest thing he did for this offense was limit the turnovers. He still has a lot of athleticism. He throws a great ball. He can get out of the pocket, extend plays, but he doesn't turn the football over. And because of that, this offense has been able to stay on the field. Cyrus Gray at running back has now had 6 straight games of 100 yards. Jeff Fuller, wide receiver, became the first 1,000-yard receiver in A&M history this season. They got Ryan Swope in the slot. Guys, in my opinion, in the second half of the season, Texas A&M was the best team in the Big 12. They beat Oklahoma and Nebraska with Ryan Tannehill playing quarterback. Texas A&M is a team that nobody wants to play right now.
You know, I agree with you on that, Jesse, and we saw them Thanksgiving night in Austin against the Longhorns team, that rivalry game, and you know how hard it is to win in a rivalry game. But Texas A&M, they have come back, now they have confidence, and after 3 years at A&M, I go back and I watch and think about what I watched with Mike Sherman in spring practice down there. I thought they were the least talented team I saw on a spring tour. For him to bring them this far, this quick, it's a tremendous job by him and his staff and character by his football team. It's going to be a nice matchup with LSU.
Yeah, let's look at that other side, Mark, with LSU and, you know, the most entertaining head coach in all of college football. Les Miles, we love to hear him in press conferences. Interviews are tremendous. But you know what? The hat gets it done. Another 10-win season, a heartbreaking loss against Arkansas, and they'd be in a BCS game again.
And he does it with his defense, led by Patrick Peterson, a wonderful defensive back. And you look at this football team, and they don't do a lot of offense. They're not very successful up front. They don't score a lot of points, but they find ways to win. They manufacture victories because of solid defense and solid special teams, and a guy in the sidelines that's not afraid to run a trick play. What's his nickname again?
Mad Hatter.
Yeah, Mad Hatter. That's why. Because they've got his back. No matter what happens, they've got Les Miles' back, and they play hard for Les Miles. Great combination.
Here's the discouraging thing, though. You realize there's time for one play. Arkansas has more than 20. Time for one play. They throw an 85-yard touchdown pass, and then they hit another 80-yard pass when the guy misjudged the ball. Those 2 plays, you take out those 2 plays, LSU's playing in the Sugar Bowl.
I don't think there's a team in the country that you would want more than to have in the last part of a fourth quarter, whether it's luck or playmaking or whatever it is, all the above. That's a good team. Really good team.
And you know, as good as their defense is, you mentioned the bust, the long plays against Arkansas. There's also a bust and a long play against Auburn at the end. That was only a 7-point game. Or not only the BCS game, they could be playing for the national championship.
Yeah. And he's coached them up. He's already been there. They've already won one national championship. And he's recruited extremely well. His kids stay out of trouble. Gets kids to the NFL. They graduate. He's run a solid program there. When he first got that job coming out of Oklahoma State, a lot of people questioned, was he the right guy for the job? Obviously he is.
I would classify Les Miles as the best coach in the country who's underappreciated by the fans.
Okay. Yeah, I think probably. But I think that might have changed a little bit this year too. But it's certainly up until this point, you're right.
And coming out of spring football, when we did that game down there, they didn't have a quarterback, and Gary Crowden and them were looking for this guy, right? So here's a football team that came together and said, disregard all the things that are out there. Let's get it done on special teams, athleticism, defense. Man, I agree with you, Mayday. They're good on defense.
I got to make this point. No matter how great your year is, you lose a bowl game is devastating. Your fans don't come to the game to watch you play. They come to watch you win, and when you don't, boy, you can't believe how disappointed everybody is.
Jesse, what do you think about this one?
Well, I think the key for LSU, and we've just been talking about how close they've been, a 10-2 team. They only lost by 7 points to Auburn, lost by 8 points to Arkansas. That defense keeps them in games, guys, but the key has got to be Jordan Jefferson at quarterback if you're LSU. Here's a guy that's thrown 4 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions on the year. He doesn't have to light the scoreboard up with great statistics. If he just plays efficiently and doesn't turn the football over, LSU is good enough to beat anybody in the country. You go back to a game earlier this season against Alabama, was efficient. LSU wins the game. They go on the road, hostile environment against Florida. He's efficient, makes some plays with his legs. They win the game. As long as Jordan Jefferson does not turn the football over, I think they have a great chance to beat Texas A&M.
You know, all of these things are great and they're very important. But Mark, what's the most important thing about a bowl trip?